You know, the increase in TV news stories and newspaper stories based on secret and anonymous sources is growing, has many people wondering how trustworthy are those sources, really? Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein echoing that concern, saying, quote, Americans should exercise caution before accepting as true any stories attributed to anonymous officials. So how can you tell if the media sources are accurate? Well, you know what? You can actually vet them for yourselves. We've got former CIA officer Bryan Dean Wright joins us from Phoenix, Arizona, where, Brian, what's the temperature this morning in Phoenix?
I believe that we're at a very cool 94. Okay. So, yes, chilly.
It is indeed. All right. Let's talk a little bit about how people should be skeptical about anonymous sources. How would you vet your news source like you would as a CIA agent?
Well, we would ask basically 5 different kinds of questions. The first is identity. Can the individual confirm who they are and where they work, which then feeds into the second, access. Do they have, or should they have, do they have a reason to have the information that they claim to have? Is it something that they directly have and control? Or secondly, are they using subsources? So that's the next piece that we would ask. The third, and I think very, very important, is motivation. You know, volunteers, when they come to, former intelligence officers such as myself, they have all kinds of different motivations for doing that. So ego, revenge, money. Understanding why people are coming to you is incredibly important, right? Next, corroboration, right? I want to make sure that the person that is speaking to me, that there are others who can clarify and confirm that that person is saying the exact same thing and that it is indeed correct. So those kinds of pieces are incredibly important. The final one that I think is one that perhaps is not really common in the agency, but we see a lot in the media, is bias. So the reporter who's telling us whatever they want to convey, are they bought and sold by this source? Do they want to push this source's information? How about the editors and the owners? Do they want to make sure that we get this perspective? That's what's important.
Sure, and when you talk about bias, you've got to figure, in Washington, D.C., which is presumably the source of a lot of these anonymous reports, a lot of people there simply don't like Donald Trump and will like to do anything they can to destroy him. And so when you talk about what you do as a CIA agent, where you have these volunteers come in, you say that generally the information they provide to the CIA is lousy.
It is. It's basically the equivalent of celebrity gossip, right? There might be a time or a little bit or piece of truth, but it's mostly garbage.
And so the motivation for them is to do damage to the president, right?
Well, I think that you've seen this in multiple administrations, but you're definitely seeing, I think, in hyper sort of speed right now under this administration. That's true. That's fair.
All right. Interesting stuff. How to vet your news source as a CIA agent would. Bryan Dean Wright, we thank you very much for joining us today from Phoenix, Arizona. Stay cool today.
Will do.
Yeah. Good luck.